Hi everybody, Spider-Kel back once again for another DC Chess Collection review. Number 12, Katana. Now this is one that I wasn't necessarily looking forward to getting. I suppose not looking forward to, but I wasn't excited about getting this one. Main reason is Katana is not really a character that I have ever come across, to be completely honest. I've never seen her in a Batman comic or in any DC comic that I've ever read. Granted, as I've always said, that's not very many, but at the same time, when I was reading about who was going to be in the line and which figures we're expecting, it came up with Katana, and I was basically thinking, who is that? I've never really heard of her, so I had no idea what effect or what role she plays in the DC or in Batman's universe. Obviously, having received this and having read this magazine here, I know a little bit more about her, part of the Birds of Prey line. Good friends with Barbara Gordon. That's about it. I honestly don't know a great deal about her at all. Just not really a character that I've ever, as I said, come across or that I've ever looked into. So yeah, I wasn't really too excited about this piece. However, the piece has come and it's a really nice one. It's a really nice one indeed. And well, we'll move into the figure and we'll go into why. And here we have the piece itself. Now obviously I've already shown this when I showed it in the Commissioner Gordon review, wasn't it? To kind of show off this base. So we've kind of already seen this base a little bit. But obviously now we'll go into a little bit more detail. As I've said, Katana, not really a character I know a great deal about, so I can't really talk about this figure in relation to her character or in relation to any story arc. But what I can do is review this figure as a chess piece, as what it looks like. So that's pretty much what I can do. But as I've said before, this piece is actually, it's a really nice one for a couple of different reasons. But definitely not become one of my favourites. Katana, after reading the comic and after seeing this, still isn't a character that I'm really too bothered about learning much about. But still a really nice piece to go along with the line, which I'm happy about. I really like this, the darkness on the face, which links into pretty much the colour throughout her whole body. That's really nice. The one thing I would have liked to have seen, it's not a huge gripe, but I would have liked to have seen this mask a slightly darker white, or her eyes to be a slightly different white to this. At the moment, these just they see how well we can get in here to show this off. There we go. At the moment, as you can see, they're both the same colour of white, and they're only defined by kind of like a drawing around the eyes. I just think it would have looked a little bit better if this white of the mask had been a little bit darker, and it would have made the eyes kind of stick out a little bit more. I mean, that's just something that I kind of like noticed as I was looking at it. But otherwise, it's really nice. I find the hair very interesting. One of those high cut back sort of pieces. Yeah, very interesting. And I know this is probably how she looks. I mean, the strange thing is, based on the front cover that we have, she seems to have really long flowing hair, and this one seems to be more like, I don't know, what is that? Like kind of like a bob, a high back bob or something. I don't know hair, but it's kind of it seems a kind of a strange idea to go with this hair, but it's good. I like it. It's not so bad. We move through, and I do like on the body piece how we have these kind of different shading. We have in there a bit of shading, a bit of detail through onto the stomach there, a nice stomach plate, the belt kind of coming down, and it looks like it's looped, and then even on the legs we have like this, just this little bit of detail there and a little bit of detail on the other side, and all the way through even to the back here. This camera's having a little bit of trouble focusing. There we go. Even on the back here we have kind of like this grill part there on the back of the leg. Doesn't seem to have it on this. Oh, there we are, it's at the front. Yeah, it's little bits of detail there, which I think could be taken into a lot of different pieces. You have, I mean, you have like these little swirls on the side of the leg there. You have a piece which pretty much is, I mean, even on the back, there we go. That's really nice in between the swords. And you have a piece that pretty much shows off someone who has a distinct colour. It's the same colour all the way throughout. It's a dark grey or a bland kind of colour, and although we have this over here to make it stand out, it could have just been really, really boring, but they've kind of added all these bits in, which is part of the character, and it just makes it stand out that little bit more. It gives it a little bit more distinction, a little bit more definition, I suppose. But as I've said, you have this arm and a really nice red, along with the metal plating, the protective shielding, I suppose you could call that. I don't know. You're getting close to this black line in there, and it's a little bit wonky in places, but that's not too terribly bad. That's only when you look really close, like we are now. When you look from far distance, it looks fine. And the sword is really, really nice as well. I do like how... There we go, that's a bit better. I do like how the sword's made, and the handle there has like a little tiny hint of blue in it. The camera is really struggling to focus at the moment. I do apologise for that. And I do like how she's holding one and the other one is kind of like sheathed. That's a really nice touch. And then the holsters for the swords. I've noticed that my holder for the sword that she hasn't used is kind of bent inwards to kind of like match alongside the other one, which isn't too bad, but it just kind of makes you think, how on earth would she get her sword back in there? You know, that's just a little bit weird. And as I already said, for the Commissioner Gordon review, just bring this out a little bit, the base stand for this isn't a really, really nice base stand. Nicely coloured, nice metallic look. The Batman symbol is facing the right way, which is really good. And it's just basic. This is a really nice base. And as far as all the pawns that we've got so far, this is the nicest one of them all. Commissioner Gordon's, which I've already mentioned, was really underwhelming. Not that very well painted or designed, and it really let an awesome figure down. This really is a nice sort of paint job. And we have had another pawn recently, and that stand is not all that good either. So far this is the greatest one, and it really looks nice. It's a really nice touch. And that's pretty much it. I mean, it's not a particularly standout figure. It doesn't really do very much. It's a pawn, so I suppose, you know, you're not really going to expect very much from this. But at the end of the day, the little bits of detail throughout what would have been a rather boring sort of body plate in here and so on, it does make it stand out. And I mean, this arm definitely, with all the shielding, that also does a great job. But it's a really nice figure, and it's a nice figure, as I've said, based on a character I'm not particularly bothered about. But all that said, it's still a really nice one to have, and it's good to see that they've kind of taken one that could have been really... This could have been dull. If you'd have just had this grey body, maybe with the black belts, yeah, it probably would have been a really uninteresting figure. But with all the little bits and pieces in about, the black up here, and then on the sides of the legs, and all the little bit of detail in throughout the body, it's a really good figure, and I do really like this one. So yeah. But there we go, guys. Hope you enjoyed the review. I shall see you again soon for the next one. Until then, take care.